Idea Book, the magazine for A&E and the History Channel, awarded him a grant for his ideas on using the History Channel as a prison teaching aid.
Mr. Green's current book is called What We Dragged Out of Slavery With Us, and he lives in Delaware with his wife. They have 5 children, numerous grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Claude A. Green, Jr.
Do some things for my other eyes. I want to start by thanking the Reginald Museum Legacy Council and the Greater Baltimore Leadership Association for inviting me here tonight. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here, and I never thought that my name would ever be associated with anything that had Reginald Lewis's name involved. I also want to thank my friends and my relatives that are here tonight. Watch what you say about me, because the person next to you may be one of my relatives. Today is the 142nd anniversary of Juneteenth, the day celebrated by many as the last day of slavery in the United States. The exhibit here is At Freedom's Door, Challenging Slavery in Maryland. My book is called What We Dragged Out of Slavery With Us. The theme tonight is purpose, pride, and promise. And let's see if we can tie all that together. 38 years ago, 38 years ago, I came across the plantation where my great-grandmother had been a slave. Starting with stories told to me by my grandmother and my great-uncles, I started to gather family history, family lore, and historical facts about my family and the area where they lived. On my mother's side, for a while I headed my extended family, the Jones Family Union, and quite a few of them are here tonight. That is a family in its 9th generation that goes back as far as George Washington, the days when George Washington was president. On my father's side, we can go back about that far, but not in the same detail. This grew over time into a study of black history from a grassroots level. I heard Tom Clancy say, "What you do to earn your living is your career. What you do for mankind is your work." Since my retirement, my work and my purpose has been getting the history of people of African Americans descent out to as many people as possible, black or white. In that, I've tried to come up with non-traditional ways of getting the word out, with things that are easy and simple to read, like the poster cards, the poster chart that I have out there. There's some trading cards and other things that are just on display, but they were basically things that brief reading, get the thought across. After kicking around many names, it was decided that we would call what we do our story. The theme would be putting color back into history. My work and my purpose has led me to conducting what has become known as the cultural awareness sessions at the state prison in Chester, Pennsylvania, which is basically teaching black history to black men to build their self-esteem or pride in themselves. Along with other volunteers who are college professors, teachers, and grad students, we have conducted these sessions for more than 7 years. There have been close to 300 of these sessions, and we have touched the lives of over 500 men. As you heard before, I was For this work, I was named Volunteer of the Year, and also for this work, I was given a grant by A&E. We have been told by those who know that the program is effective. We've also been told that men who are seriously involved in our program don't come back to prison. Getting the facts out about black history and working with black men in prison, you can say, is not my purpose. In one of the sessions at the prisons, we were talking about jumping the broom. I told them that it was something done by slaves, and because they could not marry, and we did not have to do that anymore. That it was something that we dragged out of slavery with us. After a long silence, one young man asked me, what else did we drag out of slavery with us? I had no answer then. I ended up writing a book that touches on many, but not all of the things that we as a nation, black and white, do daily that have their roots in slavery. Of course, the book is called What We Dragged Out of Slavery With Us. In that book, much of the information given out to the men at SCI Chester, a lot of it's on display out there. And many of the facts I know about my family history are contained in that book. It contains most of the things I want my children, my grandchildren, and the world to know as far as black history or our story goes. In thinking about black history, I never thought of writing a book. The book came about because I wanted to put something permanent together for my family that would incorporate some of the information I've been gathering over the years. I had this great fear that after my death, most of that work would go into the trash. When I started the book, I thought it might be 16 pages. I started it to be something that I would hand out at maybe at my family reunion, something small. It ended up being a book, and to my surprise, people, black and white, like it. My purpose of writing the book was first to make people aware of historical myths, like the United States starting from 13 colonies. There were never 13 English colonies. There were only 12 English colonies. The first nation on this continent is what is now called Delaware, which broke away from Pennsylvania and England before July 4th, and then joined with the 12 colonies to form this nation. If this fact, that is the very heart of America's history, is misrepresented, then what can black America expect from learning America's history? There are other things. The Mason-Dixon line does not separate North and South. All Africans did not come here as slaves. And of course there are other myths, but we'll start with these. I wanted people to know about the history of people of African